That's not how
AMI
it's
is only
gonna work.
recording what's going to the commercial building or the house.
They told us
So-
that you could use them. When they sold us,
Well,
they said, you'll be able to tell when there's leaks in between.
that's our leak detection that we have also. We have to actually, we have, I forgot what they call it, but we put them on the valves and we can go around and move it from place to place.
Okay.
And when we do that, we can see leaks on the mains. But we've done it once and we had issues with getting the maps uploaded. And then since then, we just haven't had the time to go back out there and move it to another area. But yeah, we can detect leaks through that.
That's pretty labor intensive, though. Yeah.
It takes, some people, and then you have to have the time, so.
Are they getting the training they need? Everybody happy? They're getting what they need out of training wise?
I guess so.
As good as possible? I know
Yeah.
you can't give everybody the training they want.
Correct.
But we have people that are hungry, want to
Yes.
move up.
Yeah, we've actually got some people that passed tests recently, so.
Good.
Yeah.
Are we incentivizing enough for them to stay? Instead of the leak, what we really need to talk about, I think, is that leak where we're losing qualified people to other places because we're not paying enough. Are we doing a decent job addressing that? I know that's difficult, but, you know.
No, we're not.
We're not?
We're not.
Okay.
You're gonna see that, totally, like Antoine's gone, but totally different, is we're gonna start losing people to other municipalities, because we're historically a low-paying city. Public Works, Jason has continuously advocated for, he's hired, I don't know, 4 people over the course of the last year, I think.
Yeah.
And he comes in and tries to get them more money, but we just don't have it. So when we come to, this is gonna be a big problem. Here comes Antoine now. And we're not gonna, it's not I would rather not discuss it tonight, but the example what's happening at Public Works is about to happen at the police department. Neighboring agencies are starting at higher, they're giving better incentives, and we're gonna start losing police officers. Same thing with our Public Works, there's certain licenses they need for water and wastewater, and when they get that, they can go make $12,000 to $15,000 somewhere else. I mean, I would go to a neighboring city for
15 grand more,
I
yeah.
wouldn't, but so, no, I think we're gonna, citywide, we're gonna start feeling the crunch of the recruiting and retention. We do a good job of it now, but we are not competitive pay-wise, and we're gonna have to discuss that when the actual budget comes up. But there's really, we don't incentivize them to stay other than a $500 longevity after 5 years.
Yep. We
Jason.
definitely have to address that.
Mr. Mayor?
Yeah,
Mine?
please.
Where are you at on personnel? How you feel about having, are you where you need to be on personnel?
We're behind. We're,
He's being nice. He was just in my office
see-
2 days ago asking
Go
for
for
more
it.
personnel.
Come on, Jason.
So listen.
Don't even think about him being up here.
Don't. So,
Did you say we're fine or we're behind?
we're behind.
You said we're behind,
Yeah,
right?
we're
oh, I thought you
behind.
said
Okay,
we're
no,
fine.
that's what I
No, I
thought
said
heard.
we're behind.
Oh, I thought you said
Not fine.
we're fine. No, we're not.
Oh,
So,
I was wondering where you were going with
no, I
that.
thought he said he was fine.
No.
I thought he was trying to be humble.
I caught the behind right there.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. I don't have my hearing aids in. But Jason and I are talking right now, and we just had a department head meeting yesterday, and we're looking at all positions. Do these current positions make sense? Can we realign some positions? So Jason's going on vacation for a couple weeks, well overdue. And when he gets back, him and his admin guy Mike are going to work on an organizational chart for the Public Works to see how we're lined up and how can we find more efficiencies within the organizational structure of Public Works. And then he's also gonna put, I think he said 3 proposed positions. We can't afford 3 positions. I've already told him that, but I told him in this
That was being nice.
What's that?
That was being nice.
Yeah, it is. But when he does his organizational chart, he's gonna show me what's proposed and see how we can get Public Works some help. They are understaffed.
Well, that's where I was going with this. You're already talking about understaffed, trying to keep people here, promoting people, you can't keep adding weight to the cart.
Nope.
More responsibilities to an individual, they're gonna get burnt out when they can see neighboring cities doesn't have near the jobs that they have to hold on to here at somewhere else. We're paying less, we're giving them more responsibility. So how are we gonna manage that to be competitive and keep quality people here?
As far as pay or in
And
general?
general.
So, I go around, I'll talk to staff, and we talk about the non-monetary benefits of working at High Springs. We think we've made a lot of good, over the last year, we've made a lot of good inroads to getting to a better culture, better communication, better teamwork, and we have people who are invested in the success of the city, and that's evident by the people staying here and working here when they can go make more money elsewhere. So we have a good work culture here, and that I think helps. A lot of people don't want to leave High Springs, but we were looking at it today, and again with Chief Shepherd, and a starting pay for one of our police officers is $43,000 or something like that. And do you remember? Not to get into your guys' business, but we're talking about losing maybe an officer because money's tight. And remember, $40,000 was, times are that's a tight budget. So staff is gonna look hard at what our pay schedule looks like, what's the positions, what's the responsibilities. But to answer your question, Commissioner Bloodsworth, is we can look at giving pay raises, but where's that money gonna come from? Remember last budget cycle, we even lowered the millage rate. But, we think we're gonna get an additional $300,000 more than we got last year because the property values increase and whatnot. But, and staff knows this, and I've said it 100 times, priority number one is a planner. Well, by the time you count the salary and benefits, that's half of our $300,000 is gone. And then that leaves me $150,000 to pay staff what they deserve to be paid. And so we're gonna look at options and try to give you some options, but I'm being cautious because tonight we're gonna talk about fire assessment. That will have to go up. Diane has been very adamant about we gotta reevaluate water and wastewater. So that's another expense to the citizens. How much expense can I add to the citizens of High Springs before they won't tolerate it anymore? So now I'm looking, okay, not that I'm suggesting this, but just as a point of conversation is if we want to give people, want to retain the people looking at compensation, we may have to look at how are we going to raise the money? Not suggestions, but do we raise the millage rate back up? I don't know. We want to keep people here. We have great talent, great staff here, but how do we afford it? We're just in that hard spot of I want to give them more money, but where's it going to come from? So if I give Diane a $5,000 pay raise, I got to take $5,000 out of somewhere else in the budget, and that's a service, an equipment, or something is going to suffer for that. So it's a tricky balance, and I've been working with Diane and Chief and Jason it's every department. Every department is asking for more money, and I'm telling them, no, we just don't have it. But at some point, we're going to have to find it, or we're going to be losing a lot of intellectual asset. To answer your question, Mr. Commissioner?
Yes, oh, absolutely.
It wasn't the greatest answer.
No, it's not what I want to
It
hear.
was an
I'm-
honest answer.
Yeah.
It's an honest answer.
I was hoping you was just gonna roll it out on red carpet and say,
Yeah,
here it is,
sure.
brother.
I think we've got some intellectual talent here that could give us some feedback, what it's like working for different police agencies. Because these police officers, don't get me wrong, it's not that I don't appreciate everything they do, but they get to work for Antoine Shepherd. How different is that than who these two gentlemen work for and what the culture is. I know we've got one High Springs PD officer who's married to a GPD officer, and she wants to work for High Springs PD because of that culture. And having a little bit of utility side inside baseball from my beloved, I don't think any of the people who work here would want to work for that other utility just a little bit that way. It's there is a lot of yin and yang there, but
I don't want to toot the horn, and it's not me. It's my department heads have taken the vision in the direction that we are going to fix the culture. When I came here, it toxic at best. It was just everybody was siloed and whatnot, and we broke that down and we're working. So when I talk to other people, police officers want to come work for Chief Shepherd. Chief Shepherd has a great reputation. The officers are happy, and people may be willing to take a pay cut to come to High Springs. Remember, High Springs is not dealing on a day-to-day basis with gunshots and no-knock warrant searches. I don't know if they do that anymore, but you know
We would never.
you know, but it's the culture over at our police department. Chief is, and in our public works department. Jason has been a staunch advocate for that public works department since he's taken over his position. He consistently advocates for training, getting licensures, and getting more pay for his staff. But we just don't have the resources. I can't materialize something that's not there. And that's going to be the big topic besides water and wastewater rates when we present the 2026